How I encountered Kirby and Pokemon. Well, since it's not really that much of a long story, I'll try to make it short as much as I can. So, in the case of Kirby, the very first experience I had, at least it was roughly when I was still a child, and me and my family would visit our cousins, and well, where they live, I'm not going to tell you. But anyway, our cousins had this old N64 Nintendo console, or as it would be called, the Nintendo 64 console. And there, one of the games that they had was Kirby 64, or Kirby and the Crystal Shards, and I would play a few levels of it. But even then, I don't think I was really that much of a gamer, but that would sort of change until I guess later. But anyway, I often had fun playing Kirby 64, though sadly we never got to finish it because we didn't really have time to finish it due to us having been a bit busy whenever we visited our cousins. And later we sort of, I don't know, I guess we sort of stopped playing games for a while. Though we did have a Wii console, but that was borrowed. And I did have a Nintendo DS Lite. It was this rose gold one that we were given as a gift when we were kids, though that I kind of sold because I didn't really play it anymore. Well, the funny thing is, the next game in the Kirby series I would play was the Kirby Superstar Ultra game, where I actually got it from this one kid as I traded it with her, I believe. Well, I mean, I don't exactly remember, but I do remember, I think, trading it with someone. Well, anyway, and I would end up playing the whole thing and even completing it, even some of the more difficult or secret levels, and overall it was a pretty fun experience. Though, funny thing is, I actually still have the DS cartridge that was accidentally left behind when I was in the middle of selling my DS along with the various other DS games that I had. So yeah, that was about it. How I encountered Pokemon was actually pretty similar to how I encountered Kirby, as I first played Pokemon. Well, it wasn't actually the core game, but rather it was one of the Nintendo 64 games, like the one I did with Kirby. Though, in this case, like with Kirby at my cousin's house, the Nintendo 64 console they had also featured two specific Pokemon games, like one being the Pokemon Stadium, or at least the first Pokemon Stadium, and the second was, well, obviously, the second Pokemon Stadium games. And there I would end up experiencing what it's like to play. The funny thing is, I didn't know that the player character was the kid icon the with the baseball cap and the blue color scheme, as I thought I was supposed to be the second player, but that was only because I was very inexperienced when it came to Pokemon. And I played both the main gym battles as well as the mini games that they had. And later I would end up experiencing the trading cards, though that was very minor compared to the Pokemon games that I would play. As in the case of the trading card games, I would often play with my cousin, but that was only a few times. And later, I eventually managed to play one of the main core games, which was Pokemon Pearl, like the original, not the remake Shining Pearl. Though I am interested in playing Shining Pearl. Well, that is if I ever get a Switch. But anyway, so we had Pokemon Pearl, like the original one on our DS, though that was with this special kind of mashup of video games that we had thanks to one of our old family friends sort of gaining it, or at least sort of downloading the games through this kind of, and I don't know if it was an emulator or something, but he ended up downloading these games into this old kind of DS chip, though unfortunately we ended up losing it. But though I was able to complete the whole thing, and I even managed to defeat Cynthia, though like with many other players, it was a very difficult process, and I even found myself playing it in church. Though I tried to avoid doing it during sermons for obvious reasons. So, but overall, it was a pretty fun experience, and it helped that some of the other church kids actually helped me, though they were often a bit obnoxious about it. But nonetheless, they actually proved to be very helpful when it came to helping me complete the game, and it was a pretty nice experience. Yeah, though I guess I wouldn't be opposed to playing Pokemon some more, but I want to at least play the Pokemon Switch games, though, because I want to at least try to keep up to date. Though, if I'm going to be honest, I'd rather play it on the Switch Lite rather than the Switch system itself, because I feel more comfortable with handheld consoles like the DS. So, yeah, that's it.